friends, it's Iain from RTO here. The weather has got darker and it's starting to rain. Not good. Welcome to Marathon Day, and today we have got an Australian singer. I come across him because he has worked with Ian Gillan, and when I heard his voice, I thought, God, that's a gritty old voice. And I went and pursued and had a look and found his stuff. This would have been about 6-7 years ago. And I found that he'd been in a band called Cold Chisel. And we're talking about James Dixon Barnes, born in 1956. As I said, he's the lead singer of Cold Chisel and has a solo career. By 2022, he had achieved 15 solo #1 albums in Australia, more than any other artist, which is pretty good. He was inducted into the ARIA Hall of Fame as a solo artist and also an inductee with Cold Chisel. And as a solo artist, he has made 22 albums. So we're going to have a look at those today. So, coming in at number 22 is a little thing that he released in 2017 called Och Aye the G'nu. It's a children's story album written by Jimmy himself. With another group of Australian children's entertainers called the Wiggles. Now they are huge in Australia. Yeah, I did listen to it for the purpose of this. It is very creative, and I thought it was quite good. To be quite honest, it was fun, entertaining. And hats off to Jimmy. That's all I'm going to say, and I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10 because it's not an album that I would, or a thing that I would go back to. Okay, at number 21, his 20th album from 2022 called Blue Christmas. Now, there's lots of people that play on here, but we'll be there all day naming them all. So basically, it's his versions of Christmas songs. So we've got Jingle Bell Rock on here. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Santa Claus is coming to town. Let it snow. White Christmas, the Christmas song. Chestnuts roasting on an open hour. Blue Christmas, which is great. Run Rudolph, Run, which is a great version. Little Drummer Boy. Silent Night, not a fan of that. Rocking Around the Christmas Tree and Auld Lang Syne. It's not a bad album. It's just rock and rolly versions of these classic songs. I mean, Jingle Bell Rock is pretty cool. So I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 4.5. Okay, coming in at number 20 from 2018, it's a soundtrack of the same. It's a score, and it's called Working Class Boy, based on the memoir which became a tour in 2016-17, in which Jimmy sang songs and told stories. So again, I'm not going to. It's one of these spoken thing, and it talks about being in the Glasgow, the Dark Hole, Scotland, the Brave, Granny's Party Song, Heartaches by the Number. But it's collective, and he does other tracks like The Lion Sleeps Tonight, Reflections of My Life, thing about Ike and Tina Turner, Falling in Love. I did find this really good. I think this is more of a live album, but it is a real enjoyable listen. His storytelling is fun. He's got a real good sense of humour. So I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 5 out of 10. Okay, coming in at 19 We got his 15th album, and it's an album that celebrates 30 years in the business, and it's called 3030 Hindsight. It's a 2-disc, 30 tracks that contain 17 new recordings and 13 classic Jimmy Barnes spanning his solo career. So he's got songs. We've got Lay Down Your Guns, which featured the Defiant. That's pretty good. It's got a nice beat to it. Time Will Tell featured Baby Animals. Pretty good. The best song on here is a thing that he did with Keith Urban. Good Times, great little rocker. And his son Jackie James plays drums on that as well. Ride the Night Away featuring Steve Van Zandt. Excellent track. Steve, of course, plays with Bruce Springsteen. Stand Up featuring Mahala Barnes. One of his daughters and the Soulmates. Pretty good track. I Die To You Tonight featuring Diesel. Excellent. Stone Cold, brilliant. It's got Joe Bonamassa on guitar and Tina Arena. That's pretty good. Working Class, and you've got Jonathan Cain from Journey on that. Pretty good. Going Down Alone is another great track. This one featured Jonathan Cain and Neil Schon and Joe Bonamassa. What a backing up band. Love Hate featuring She Had's okay. No Second Price, the Family Choir. I'd Rather Be Blind featuring John Stevens. Pretty cool. Where's Your Love Gone feature Ruby Rogers. Pretty good. The guitar work on Two Ain't Much Enough from Joe's Bonamassa brilliant. Still On Your Side featured David Fanning. Pretty good. Walk On, David Campbell. The Other Kind, Troy Crossadale. And then this too is just some reworks of some old classics. No Second Prize, Daylight, Working Class Man, Driving Wheels, Let's Make It Last Tonight, Love Is Enough, When Something Is Wrong With My Baby, which featured John Farnham, The Wait, that featured the Bath Loves, Change of Heart, Lover, Out in the Blue and Red Hot. All these songs are re-recording songs. I like the one with Keith Urban. It's a pretty solid album actually for a rehash. You know, for a 30th anniversary, you could have thought something different, but there you go. So I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 5.5. Okay, coming in at number 18, we've got the third album from 1987. It's called Freight Train Heart. Loads of people on here, but there's some, mention a few of the names we know. We've got Neil Schon on here, Randy Jackson's on here, Tony Brock's on here, John Farris from In Excess, Jonathan Cain's on here as well. Huey Lewis plays harmonica. He sings on it as well. Jolene Turner sings on here. Sean Murphy sings on this. Lynette Stevens. So there's some pretty decent people on here. So the first track is called Driving Reels. Pretty good track. I love the guitar work on here, and it's a great vocal from Jimmy. 7 Days, a Bob Dylan song. It's a great cover of it, and I think Jimmy did a great rendition of it. Too Much Ain't Love Enough. Really good track. Very 80s. I think when Joe Bonamassa did a version of it, Ginny did it with Jimmy singing, it was better. Do or Die, very 80s rock and roll. It's all right. Waiting for the Heartache, a typical sort of track from Desmond Child wrote this. Not a big fan of it. Last Frontier, written by Jonathan Cain and Jimmy Barnes. Good vocal. I Want to Get Started With You, my favourite track on here. It's got a real great bass line. The harmonica from Huey Lewis is brilliant. I'm Still On Your Side, written by Jim Vallance, who wrote a lot of stuff for Bryan Adams, of course, and it's got that Bryan Adams groove to it. Pretty good track. Lessons in Love, another song from that Vallance home. You could feel that Bryan Adams could have sung that. On the last track, Walk On, is a Jolene Turner track, who helps him sing on it, from his House of Dreams by the Sunstorm Out band. It's okay. It isn't too bad. It's very sort of 80s ballads and that. It's got a couple of rockers on it. It's a half decent album, so I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 5.6. Okay, coming in at number 17, we have the debut solo album from 1984, Bodyswerve. Jimmy Barnes on the lead vocals, Mal Eastick and Chris Stockley and Jimmy Barnes play guitar on here. Bruce Hall bass, Ray Arnott drums, Steve Hill keyboards. Backing vocals are done by Rena Greer, Vanetta Fields, Shauna Jensen. Got Street Chris Stockley on mandolin, Viv Riley, Barry Gray, the bagpipes. First track is called Vision. Okay, the drums have got that mid-80s, that 80s sound on it, but the riffs are good. It's a good opening track. Daylight, quite good, pretty solid track. Guitar works pretty decent on that one. Great vocals, of course. Promise Me You Call, very 80s. Not for me. It's too 80s for me. No Second Prize. Great vocal, that gritty vocal from Jimmy Barnes. Bad Boys Cry Out for War, my favourite track on it. It's a great bluesy rock track. Okay, forget the drum sound because that's what they were doing in the 80s, but the track is killer. Paradise, a great rock, brilliant vocal. And then there's a Sam Cooke track, A Change Is Gonna Come, a great version of this Sam Cooke. Jimmy's vocals are great on that. Thick Skinned, a bit of mandolin on there and it really adds it to the flavour to the track. Piece of My Heart, Janis Joplin. If anyone's going to sing a Janis Joplin song, now we've heard that Noddy can do it and so can Jimmy Barnes. Great version of it, one of the best versions, you'll hear that. Then we get Fire, really good. World's on Fire to end the album, very 80s rock and roll. Now this is a bit of a guilty pleasure album, I think. I think it's got some brilliant guitar work and Jimmy's vocals are great, that rawness. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 5.8. Okay, coming in at number 16, the 9th album from 1999, Love and Fear. Lots of people play on this. So the opening track is Love and Hate, a really good opening track, quite heavy. The bass line on this is terrific. Then we get Time Will Tell. Some great guitar works on Jimmy's vocals are just on top form. Another really strong track. By the Grace of God. There's a little bit of poppy sort of sound on this, but it's okay. Thank You, Thankful for the Rain. The guitar solo is delightful. And another storming vocals from Jimmy. Temptation, really good track, my favourite. I love the guitar work on this. I think the drumming though is really excellent on it. It's got a real good punch to it. Love Song, catchy, great riffs, another super song. Do It To Me, a little bit different. I like there's a bit of saxophone and muted trombone that really just adds some flavour to the album. Love Gone, Cold, not the best track on here. It's probably the weakest track on the album actually. Heart Cries Out, it's got a nice little acoustic guitar accompaniment on that. Radio Song, one of the best rockers on here, great. Second favourite track, got a lot of punch, that one. Blind, Can't Lead the Blind, another really strong song. The vocals are good, the lyrics are fantastic, super song. Sorry, great track to end the album, heavy, one of the heaviest on the album. Great riffs and licks. Now this is one of those albums where all the rockers are really, really good. Some of the ballads are not, but it's still a really good album. So I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 6 out of 10. Coming in at number 15 then, from 1991, it's called Soul Deeper, Songs from the Deep South, and it's an album of songs. It's a success to his another album called Soul Deep, and it's soul songs. So on here he does Land of a Thousand Dances, which was a single by Chris Kenner in 1962, and it's a really good version of it. Chain of Fools, great song, sang by Aretha Franklin, and he really does a great version of it. He's got a wonderful soulful voice on that. What Becomes of the Broken Hearted, the classic Jimmy Ruffin from 1966. Brilliant. Then he does Weatherspoon, which is pretty good. To Love Somebody from one of them early Bee Gees numbers from 67. Absolutely brilliant. The best track on there. Now, I love this track, and it's actually in the Blues Brothers 2000, and it's Wilson Pickett's 6345789, written by Eddie Floyd and Steve Cropper. It's a brilliant song, and Jimmy does a banging version of it. Ain't Too Proud to Beg, the Temptations classic. Brilliant song. I Put a Spell on You, written by Screaming Jay Hawkins back in 56. Brilliant version of that as well. Money, made famous by Barrett Strong in 59. Beatles have done it. It's pretty cool. Hold On, I'm Coming, Sam and Dave song. Brilliant version by Jimmy. Dancing in the Street, Martha and the Vandals. Not the best version, I'm afraid. All the Young Dudes, it's alright. And then Respect, Otis Redding wrote it, and then Aretha Franklin made it famous. That's pretty good. Then there's Rip It Up from Little Richard, does a great version of that. I'll Go Crazy, the James Brown classic, pretty cool. Who's Making Love, Johnny Taylor song, does a great version of that. Is This Love, the classic Bob Marley. And Hound Dog. I'll tell you what, these are cracking covers. He really puts a spin on these tracks. So I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 6.2. Okay, coming in at number 14, 18th album from 2019. It's called My Criminal Record. Lots of people on here. Opens up with the title track, My Criminal Record. I don't mind this track. It's got a nice sound to it. Great vocal. Shutting Down Our Town. It's very, very Bruce Springsteen. The story, the structure of the song, it's a really good track. I'm in a Bad Mood. Great vocal on there. And it's a story, and it's one of my favourite tracks on here. Stolen Car. Guitars work. His voice, though, is a little bit off on this. I don't know why, but he may have just been having a bad day. But yeah. Then My Demon, God help me, my favourite on this is classic Jimmy Barnes. I love the guitar work on this. It's got a real grit to it as well. Then he does John Lennon's Working Class Hero, which is a nice little spin on it. It's not a bad version of that song. Belvedere and Cigarettes, another excellent track. The piano work really complements Jimmy's vocals. I Won't Let You Down, very commercial sound, but it's got a bluesy tone to it, and that's alright. Stargazer, nothing to do with Rainbow. It's got a nice gentle thing, the guitars on it as well. Some nice licks on that. Money in Class, killer guitar work on this. Another brilliant vocal. Stolen Car Part 2, better than Part 1. I think this has got more grit. The vocals are far superior, and the piano is brilliant. If Time Was on My Side, another track that's sounds like a very young Bruce Springsteen off them early albums. And then he does do a Bruce Springsteen track. Tougher Than the Rest, which is off. I can't remember which album, I know the picture. But it's not a bad version of that track. He gives it his own spin. Not a bad album again. It's very safe. There's nothing wrong with that. He's a fine performer, so I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 6.3. Okay, coming in at number 13 is that soul album, the first one. We've done the second one, this is the first one. It was his fifth album, and it came out in 1991, and it's called Soul Deep. So the first track, he does a rendition of Joe Tex's 1971 song, I Gotcha, pretty good as well. Jackie Wilson, Your Love Keeps Lifting Me. What Higher and Higher. He's such a great soul singer, Jimmy, and he does a cracking version of that. When Something Is Wrong, a Sam and Dave track. and he sings this with John Farnham. It's not a bad version of it. Then another Joe Tex, this is his 67 single, Show Me, brilliant version of that. Then my favourite version on here of a track is Jimmy Cliff's Many Rivers to Cross. Jimmy sings it brilliantly. The two Jimmys, Jimmy Cliff the original and Jimmy Barnes does the cover, and it's a fantastic cover. Reflections, a bit of Diana Ross and the Supremes, It's Okay. Ain't No Mountain High Enough, it's a really good version, originally sung by Martin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. I Found Love, which is a hit by the Falcons that featured Wilson Pickett, and it's a very good version. There's a fantastic version of Stevie Wonder's Signed, Sealed and Delivered, I'm Yours. Great vocal on that. Bring It On Home to Me, the Sam Cooke number, brilliant version of that. I remember Rick Parfitt singing that on one of the Quo's albums, and this is up there. That's a great version. The Al Green number, Here I Am, Come and Take Me, a really good version of that. And then it ends up with Ike and Tina Turner's River Deep, Mountain High. Another brilliant covers album. Bring It On Home to Me is a highlight on there, and Many Rivers to Cross. I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 6.4. Okay, coming in at number 12 is the 11th album, released in 2005, and it's called Double Happiness. So, this is a song with some duos on it, and so the first one is a Sit On Me, which is a Dallas Crane number, and as it was Dallas Crane, and it's pretty solid. Then you've got Gonna Take Some Time, which he does with his daughter Malaya, or Malaya, I can't pronounce how we pronounce it, but it's pretty cool. It's a nice little number. Them singing together is great. Then we've got Attention with Roachford, Andrew Roachford, and it's a really good track. Nice vocals on that one. Then we get Run, which he does with Mika Paris. Not my favourite on here. What Will They Say? He does this with John Swan. It's okay. Out of Time, Rolling Stones number, which he sings with Tim Rogers. Pretty good. Then got You As a Friend, which he does with Diesel. It's pretty good. But my favourite song on here, it's the Resurrection Shuffle, which was done by Ashton Gardner and Dyke in 1917. He sings this with The Living End, and it's a brilliant version of it. Piece of My Heart, he does with Tina Harrod, and it's a brilliant track. Then he does a wonderful version of the Wichita Lineman, the Glenn Campbell classic, and he does it with David Campbell, his son, and they sing it wonderfully together. Some Woman, with Jackie Barnes on the drums, his son, brilliant track. Ain't It So, with Rashan Patterson, another good version. I'll Be There, the Jackson Fives, which he sings with his other daughter, Ellie Mae. It's alright. Ellie Mae's vocals are nice though. Higher with Gary Pinto, really good. Settle For Me with E.J. Barnes, his daughter, pretty good. It's one of her songs. She wrote it. It's very nice. Then we've got Bird on the Wire, the Leonard Cohen song that he does with Troy Casadale and Bella. Very good version. And then they do a version of the Isley Brothers Shout with Billy Thorpe, and it's really good. Once again, it's a pretty good album. I love the songs he does with his daughter. It's a fantastic little album. And I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 6.5. I need a sip of coffee before we go on. Okay, coming in at number 11 is his most current album, and he released it in February of this year. Well, June, sorry. He announced it in February and it was released in June. And it's called Defiant. Loads of people on here. So the first track on here is That's What You Do for Love. It's a pretty solid track. Great vocal from Jimmy. He's still got a great voice. Excellent opening track. New Day, some great riffs on this, typical Jimmy Barnes song. Beyond the River Bend, it's got a country feel to it, and you know, his voice can suit any sort of style of singing, and he's really good at the country stuff, and it's a pretty good track. Never Stop Loving You, some great guitar work. His voice is a little bit groggy in places, but we'll give him that. Defiant, the title track, love this, what a groove. The drums are fantastic on that. The Long Road, my favourite song on here. It's his best vocal on the album, and it's got one of the best guitar solos as well. Damned If I Do, Damned If I Don't. It's got a real sort of a Rolling Stone feel to this, and I like it. Dig Deep, the piano work on this is fantastic, along with Jimmy's singing. Nothing Comes For Nothing, very nice track, melodic, nice vocal. And the last track, Sea of Love, it's got a very 50s vibe to it. It's a good track to end the album. Really good album. I've really enjoyed listening to this when it came out. He's still got a cracking voice, and it's still got that grittiness and rawness, which I like. So I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 6.6. So we've got to the top 10 now. So coming in at number 10 is the 19th album from 2021, Flesh and Blood. And this one opens up with the title track, Flesh and Blood. Now, some of these tracks do remind me of the Bruce Springsteen style. And I think sometimes he is like the Australian version of Bruce Springsteen, especially in this part of his career. It's an excellent track. I'm Coming Home. Wouldn't say it's my favourite. It is lacking something there. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it's certainly not as good as some of the other tracks on this album. Getaway to the Heart. Now, this is solid. The backing vocals are brilliant on this, and I think a lot of his backing vocals are done by his family. His daughters do a lot of backing vocals for him, and it's pretty solid. It's like his son does a lot of the drumming. The Truth. This is The Truth. Reminds me of another Bruce Springsteen. The emotion in that vocal is really good. Around in Circles, great bass line. The guitar work is excellent. Till the Next Time, a nice gentle song, great vocal. I love the guitar work. So I Move Slow, and this features Ellie Mae Barnes and Jackie Barnes. I love this song. The vocals of Ellie Mae, his daughter, is ringing, and Jackie, his son, the great drummer. It's a really good track. At the End of the Road, very nice song. But my favourite on here is a rendition of Love Hurts. Yes, it's the one that the Everly Brothers done in Nazareth, and he sings it with his wife, Jane. Oh, God, this is wonderful. Perfect for them. There's such emotion. I think being a husband and wife, they really bring this song to life. It's a fantastic version of it. Tennessee Waltz features Eliza Jane Barnes. It's probably the better version than Pee Wee King's, because it was a Pee Wee King son. It's a brilliant duo with his daughter. Solid album. A bit of a family affair on this, which is great. Sons on here, his wife, his daughters. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6.8. Okay, coming in at number 9 is another of these soul albums, soul covers. It's called Soul Searchin, and it came out in 2016. So the first track he does is a great version of Roger Collins' She's Looking Good. Superb version of that. Hard Working Woman from Bobby Rush. Excellent. He's a bit of a Joe Tex fan, and he does A Woman Needs to Be Loved, and he does a fantastic version of that. Cry to Me, the Solomon Burke track. Brilliant. If Loving You Is a Crime, I'll Always Be Guilty, which he does with the Memphis Boys, and it's a Lee Moses song, and they do a really good version. How Good You Make Me, How You Make Me Good, Laura Lee song, brilliant. Then they do a brilliant Etta James song, I Worship the Ground You Walk On, featuring the amazing Steve Cropper on guitar, fantastic. Then he does Bad Girl, which is a Smokey and the Robinsons track, of course, and he does a fantastic version of that. Lonely for You, Baby, Sam Dees, brilliant. And then the best track version on here is a song that James Carr wrote, sang, written by Don Penn, and it's The Dark End of the Street, and Don Penn features on here, which is great. It's a fantastic song anyway, but I do like this version. Mercy Mercy from Don Conway and the Good Timers. I think that's a little bit better than the original. Rainbow Road from Arthur Alexander, brilliant version of that. Without a doubt, of these soul albums, this is the best of the three. It's got some brilliant songs on it. It's got one of my favourite songs on here, The Dark End of the Street, so it was always going to get the thumbs up. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 8, 13th album, released in 2009. It's called The Rhythm and Blues. Now, like the soul albums, he's done a rhythm and blues covers album. So the first one is a version of Billy Lee Riley's Red Heart, and it is Red Heart. Absolutely corking version of that. His vocals are just wonderful on that. That's Right from Clarence Frogman Henry. Super version of that as well. Then he does a Ray Charles number, Hallelujah, I Love Her So. Wonderfully done with Jimmy Barnes' twists on it. That's How It Is, When You're in Love. Otis Clay number. And again, it is pretty cool. Keep On Knocking. Brilliant version of the Little Richard song. Reconsider Me, Johnny Adams song, does it. Then he does Shake, Rattle and Roll. Big Joe Turner song, but of course made more famous by Bill Haley. Brilliant version of it as well. Rocking Pneumonia, the Huey Piano Smith song, brilliant. A Fall in Love, the Ike and Tina Turner does a great version of that. You Can't Judge a Book, brilliant version of the Bo Diddley song. I Was Made to Love Her, Stevie Wonder's song, fantastic. Youngblood, the Coasters, brilliant. But my favourite is his version of Nina Simone's My Baby Just Cares For Me. It's just amazing how a male singer can take a song made famous by a female and absolutely knock it out of the park. Brilliant version. Now, this is my favourite Jimmy Barnes cover album. It's just got some great songs. It's a little bit different. It's just a fab album, and I really like listening to this one. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 7.2. Okay, coming in at number 7, we've got the 4th album released in 1990, and it's Two Fires. We've got Jimmy Barnes on vocals. Playing guitar on here, he's got a few. We've got Jeff Neal, Mark Lazzotti, Brian Setzler from the Stray Cats, Todd Sharp, Wally Stocker. Got Jimmy Haslip on the bass, Tony Brock on drums, Kevin Savinger on keyboards, and we've got the rest of the family singing on here. We've got Eliza, Jackie, probably play some drums, Jane's on here as well. So you got lots of backing vocals. Brian Setzler, they've all done their bit. So the first track is my favourite track on the album, Lay Down Your Guns, and it's one of my favourite songs by Jimmy Barnes. The riffs are brilliant. It's a rock and rolly sort of track, and I love the vocal. Let's Make It Last All Night. Saxophone's got it, but he's got Desmond Child, and I do not like his style of writing. Little Darling, a catchy tune with some great guitar riffs. Brilliant stuff. Love Is Enough, very catchy keyboards, and a fantastic vocal from Jimmy on that. Hardline, a good rocker. Fiery keyboards, fiery vocals, excellent. One of a Kind, I love that opening riff. Sets the tone for the whole other song. Sister Mercy, the bass line is, again, it sets the tone, and it's a great vocal on that one. When Your Love Is Gone, I don't like this one, although it has got a good guitar solo on it. Between the Two Fires, very 90s rock. I love the riffs. Fade to Black, solid. The guitar work on this is brilliant. And then the last track, Hold On, more great riffs. Some great drumming on this. I'm sure it's his son. And Jimmy's vocals are brilliant. A pretty consistent album. A couple of tracks are a little bit for me, but on the whole, it's a damn good album again. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.3. Okay, coming in at number 6, we have the 14th album, released in 2010, and it would be his last album for original material until My Criminal Record, and it's called Rage and Ruin. God or Money's the opening track. It's got that sort of Keith Urban sound. And I like Keith Urban as well. Some great backing vocals. Wouldn't be surprised if it's the Daughters. Excellent track. Before The Devil Knows You're Dead. Fantastic vocal from Jimmy on this. Again, the backing vocals really make this song. Letter from a Deadhead. Solid. The piano work is brilliant. Super track. Stupid Heart comes now. One of the best vocals on here for Jimmy. But it's not one of my favourite songs, but it's a stunning vocal. Adam Was Just a Man, one of my favourite tracks on here. It's got a real good feel to it. I've Seen It All, Rage and Ruin. Middle of the Road, Country Soul, nice vocal. Can't Do It Again, the backing vocals from the family, I'm sure. It is a brilliant track. Time Can Change, solid track. The keyboards really make this, on top of that great vocal. This Ain't the Day I Die, very consistent sound. That keyboards are great. It's a great vocal as well. My favourite track on this one, Love Can Break the Hardest Heart. Really nice song. Well, it's got, the words are lovely, and it's just a little gem. Turn It Around, very nice song. Some lovely words on that as well. And Largs Pier Hotel, bit of a folky song, which is a bit of a curveball, but it's really good. It's got some nice words. Pretty consistent album again. Some lovely key work on this album. Fine vocals from Jimmy on this. A very solid album. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.5. Okay, coming in at number 5 from 2007, we've got Out in the Blue. First track on here is called I Can't Tell You Why. The drum sound on this is really good. It's got that sort of hollow sound. Now, Ian Gillan did some stuff with this sort of sound on, and it was really good. And I think he may have picked that up from, or Jimmy picked that up for me, and I don't know which way round, but it's excellent. Out in the Blue, a really good vocal from Jimmy. I love the guitar work on this as well. My favourite track on here is a track called You From Me. Very simple arrangement, but a fantastic vocal. Blue Oath, Blue Hotel, written by Neil Finn of whatever band he's in, I can't remember. Someone will tell me. It's a really good song. I like that. Two Hearts Collide with Casey Chambers. It's a real nice duo. Great song. Red Light, great vocal from Jimmy. It's a good little hard rocker. Everything Is Changing, a song that he wrote with EJ, and it's a powerful song. Great vocals from Jimmy. Better Off Alone, a real quirky number. I love the drumming on that. Water Wash All Over Me. It's alright. It's not the best song on the album. It's a bit mediocre. I'm surprised. It's got Jockey Barnes on it playing the drums. Excellent track. He co-wrote it with Dad. Losing You, good vocals. The backing vocals are superb. Again, it's the guitar workers. And the last track is Forgiveness. Drumming's on there, and I'm sure that'll be Jackie. It's got a nice atmosphere. There's a couple of tracks on here are not good, but the rest of the album is really good. It's crisp. The singing is great all round. So I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 7.6. Okay, coming in at number 4 It's the 7th album from 1993, and it's called Flesh and Wood. And it's an album that was made only using acoustic instruments. And it's again some of his other songs, and they've just stripped them all down. And he's got guests on here as well. So we've got It'll Be Alright, The Wait, which he does with the Bad Loves, pretty nice version. Ride the Night Away, he does with Steve Van Zandt and Steve Jordan. Guilty with Joe Cocker, that's lovely. You Make Love Without a Soul, pretty good. Hell of a Time, he does with Ross Wilson. Brother of Time with Tony Emanuel. Fade to Black, brilliant. Flame Trees is wonderful, it's my favourite track on here. And this is actually a cultural song, and it's a fantastic version of it. Still Got a Long Way to Go, he does with Diesel. Still on Your Side's pretty good. Stone Cold, a great version he does with Don Walker. Let It Go with Deborah Conway's good. Would Be Gone and Love Me Tender, the classic Elvis song, of course. It's a very acoustic album. The covers are really good. His own tracks are well done, because I think these are how these tracks actually started. But the highlight is the Flame Trees. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.7. And I don't, it's normally I don't have acoustic albums this high up, but this is a terrific album. Okay, coming in at number 3, the 6th album from 1993, and it's Heat. Lots of people on here again. So the first track is a great little rocker called Sweat It Out. The bass is brilliant, and again he's gone for that metallic sound as well. And I love the drumming on this, it really is. Wheels in Motion, a cracking track. The drums, the bass, the riffs, the vocal, it's just all round great track. Stand Up, really raw. Plug in, go, record. Burn Baby Burn, my favourite track on here. Is gritty, the percussion on it is fabulous, great vocal on that. Something's Got to Hold, ballady type track. But another of my favourites on here is Love Thing, simple piano, nice vocals, can't go wrong. Talking to You, a real bluesy rock track, the rear riffs are brilliant, and there's a real funky bass on it as well. Stone Cold, I mean, it's a great as an acoustic, but it's a really good track as a normal track as well. Brilliant track. Wait For Me, another good rock and roll track, some strong riffs. Tears We Cry, not a big fan of this, it's a little bit. Right By Your Side, written with his wife, excellent track, guitar work, and I love vocals on that. A Little Bit of Love, it's alright, it's not the best on the album. I'd Rather Be Blind, one of my favourites on here, than guitar work and a killer vocal from Jimmy. Not the Loving Kind, a little rocky blues track with some nice piano as well. Knock Me Down, raw, the drumming is fantastic, a fantastic bass line as well. Catch Your Shadow, it's an acoustic track, it's really good. And it's the last track. Lots of tracks on here, but they're all pretty good. When you put a lot of tracks on the album, there's some filler, but there's hardly any filler on this, so I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. Coming in at number 2, the 8th album from 1995, Psyclone. It's Jimmy Barnes on vocals, and we've got musicians on here, Jeff Neal, Michael Hegarty, Guy Davis, Neil Martin, Diesel and Tony Brock. Strings arranged by Stephanie Perrin, Oliver Lecher, Vivian Aldermack and Nicholas Gallier. Backing vocals, Lisa Hunt and Monica Reed Rice. Use the Truth, lovely track, very simple arrangement and a great vocal from Jimmy. Spend the Night, solid rocker, the guitar work is great, real good raunchy little rocker that is. Change of Heart, it's a melodic track, I love Jimmy's melodic tracks, and this is one, and it's a fine vocal. Every Beat, I'm not a big fan of this, it's a little bit too poppy, Come Undone, some lovely acoustics on that. My favourite track on here is a thing called Stumbling. I love that upbeat drums. I think it's it's Jimmy's best vocal on the album. Love and Devotion, great ballad. One of the best. I love the song anyway. Mirror of Your Soul, nice song, but the bit that really strikes is the guitar solo. It's fantastic. Just a Man, one of the it's a good track, but it's not one of my favourites. Fooling Yourself, second favourite track on it. It's a good little rock, and the drumming is fabulous on that. Tears, it's okay, it's pretty solid. Going Down Alone, another great vocal from Jimmy. I think it's gritty and the guitars are good. And the last track, Because You Wanted It, a sort of an acoustic here. I like the harmonies and the piano. It's a really good album. It's got rockers, it's got ballads, it's got an all-round album. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.2. But my favourite Jimmy Barnes album is his second album from 1985, Working Class Man, and the album consists of 5 original tracks and 7 remix tracks, of which were from Bodyswerve. And remember, Bodyswerve was quite low down in the ranking. There was a reason, so we'll find out in a minute. So the first track on here is called I Died to Be With You Tonight. Love this. The acoustic guitar is so crisp at the beginning. It's a very good vocal from Jimmy. Ride the Night Away. Acoustic guitar is so strong, and I do love that song. American Heartbeat, written by Jonathan Cain. It's a really good song. The bass line is fantastic as well. Working Class Man, my favourite track on here, and it's one of my favourite songs by Jimmy Barnes. It's written by Jonathan Cain, and it is super. The lyrics to this are strong. Jonathan Cain could write great lyrics, and Jimmy just delivers it. Without Your Love, nice song, written by Tony Carey of Rainbow. Yes, you wouldn't think he could have, but I reckon Tony plays on that as well. Great track. So now we've got the songs that he's redone. The first one, he had another bash at his No Second Primes. This is much fuller than on Bodyswerve. The guitar solo is brilliantly, and it sounds so much better. Vision, again, much richer. Totally changed the dynamics of the song. Promise You'll Call Me, better than the one on Bodyswerve, and that's good, but this is even better. Boys Cry Out for War, probably one of the best new versions. Daylight, killer again. It's got so much richness and depth. Thick Skinned, second favourite of the newer tracks, of the older tracks, sorry. And the last one, Paradise, absolutely killer version of it. They've really vamped that one up. The new songs are fantastic, but the re-recordings are so much better. I think they've taken, although this was done in the 80s, they've taken away the 80s smoothness and just give it some pure rock treatment. And I'm glad he re-recorded these songs, because they're so much better than they were on the debut. So I'm going to give that album an RTO ranking of 8.3. So there we go. A great artist. Shame that he's not really known outside of Australia, but he's a fine musician, fine singer. So go and check his stuff out. Okay, that's all for today. Another busy day tomorrow. We've got another birthday kick us off, and that's Anne Scott. We're looking at the 5th birthday from 1959. And tomorrow's Sophomore Dome is a sort of new romantic style one. We've got Heaven 17 up against ABC. And also we've got another top 10 tomorrow. We're going to look at the US top 10 for tomorrow on 1961. So another busy day. A busy day today, birthdays and marathons. So have a great day. Bye for now.